Here in Winchester Cathedral, I have long thought that this is an amazing place, both for private prayers, for private grief, private celebration, but also for public prayers and celebrations. And this week, as we have paused as a nation to respond to the death of Her Majesty the Queen, it's been both. And we've had a constant stream of men, women, young and old, coming in here to find a place of quiet. Alongside that, the big civic services. And for many of us, I suspect, it's been strangely personal. The Archbishop of Armagh earlier this week in Northern Ireland said that the two deaths you never expected are your own and Queen Elizabeth's. And that facing of mortality, something we've become familiar with over the last 2 years, is staring us in the face this week. And so this place and many of our churches are rightly now wide open. Light a candle, come and say your own prayers. Ask for God's peace and presence, not only for yourself, but for our nation as we face the days to come. Her Majesty, Queen Elizabeth, so often has shaped our lives. For me, I'm 61 years old, for the whole of my life. And in fact, from my earliest memories, every single Christmas had to involve sitting down to listen to Her Majesty at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So often she interspersed what she had to say to the Commonwealth with the teaching of Jesus. She spoke of his example, of his teaching, but increasingly she spoke of who he is as the Prince of Peace, what it means to be reconciled to one another. And the clock almost stopped still, didn't it, in 2012, as she took Martin McGuinness's hand in hers and shook it. A tangible expression of reconciliation that was both personal and public. As we pray for our nation, as we pray for our new King, Charles III, I wonder if that same sense of trusting the hand of God for the future ought to be something we all embrace. When she was 13, Princess Elizabeth handed a poem to her father, the King, and he used it in the Christmas broadcast of 1939. And I said to the man who stood at the gate of the year, "Give me a light that I may tread safely into the unknown." And he replied, "Go out into the darkness and put your hand into the hand of God. That shall be to you better than light and safer than a known way." So I went forth and, finding the hand of God, trod gladly into the night. And he led me towards the hills and the breaking of day in the lone east. Minnie Haskin's poem lives for us today, both personally and corporately. May God enable you to place your hand into his hand this week.